Two new exotics, and both when paired together create a build that lets you become a lightning god. This Warlock PvE Arc 3.0 build is some of the most fun I've had in Destiny period. It lets you spam infinitely your melee teleport attack, which is incredibly potent, as well as your grenade over and over again. Both of these things chain lightning to enemies nearby, then your main weapon creates explosions and chains lightning to nearby enemies as well, and regenerates your abilities. It's an incredibly satisfying gameplay loop of ability spam and gunplay, all while running around at max speed. This is the true Arc 3.0 fantasy. Oh, and we also incorporate elemental wells here to take this build to the next level. So at the heart of the build is the new Warlock exotic helmet, the Fallen Sunstar. Now this makes Ionic Traces provide more ability energy and feeds the ability spam component of the build. Not only does this work great solo, but it also provides nearby allies with energy when you collect Ionic Traces as well. So if two of you are running this, I can only imagine the amount of ability regeneration. Ionic Traces, for those that don't know, are small charges of energy dropped by enemies which provide ability regeneration. We'll go into later how we can generate tons of these so we can constantly get our abilities back. The second exotic is the new exotic Arc Fusion Rifle, which can be obtained from the Season Pass, the Delicate Tomb. This thing is probably my favourite fusion rifle I've used in PvE. It's an ad clear monster. When firing from the hip, it fires a wide horizontal spread shot, which means it's great for clearing out large hordes of enemies. Its exotic ability lets it generate Ionic Traces, which are guaranteed on stronger enemies. It also has a perk called Tempest Cascade, whereby collecting Ionic Traces overcharges the weapon's next shot, allowing it to jolt targets. Jolting is just Bungie's word for chaining lightning to other enemies, and I'll explain how this is a key component in the gameplay loop a little later. If you're enjoying what I'm talking about so far, remember to like the video as that helps me out a ton. So let's get into the Arc 3.0 build. We're using the Healing Rift, Burst Glide, and then Chain Lightning for the melee. Chain Lightning has the shorter cooldown of the two melees, which is why we've picked it here. For the grenade, it's Storm Grenade. Storm Grenade has a relatively short cooldown and it's extremely potent in the area it covers, creating multiple opportunities for chaining. Aspects wise, first of all we have Electrostatic Mind. Now this lets us generate Ionic Traces when we kill enemies with our Arc abilities, or when we kill enemies that are jolted or blinded. It also lets us guarantee amplification uptime, as collecting Ionic Traces makes us amplified. Amplification increases movement speed, weapon handling, and can give you a further speed booster. All of this just makes the build feel like it's on steroids. The second aspect is Lightning Surge, whereby if we slide and use our melee, we teleport and bring down thunder which jolts targets. It's fast, it's powerful, and it chains lightning. All of this synergizes together with Electrostatic Mind, Ionic Traces, and ability regeneration. It's all just one giant positive feedback loop, and I absolutely love it. Fragments wise, we have Spark of Recharge, whereby when we're critically wounded we regenerate our abilities faster. Spark of Shock, whereby our Storm Grenade now chains lightning to enemies, and therefore guarantees more Ionic Trace generation through Electrostatic Mind. We have Spark of Resistance, which gives us 25% DR when going up close against multiple enemies, which will help with the teleport melee of course. Finally we have Spark of Beacons, which when amplified causes our Delicate Tomb fusion rifle shots to create blinding explosions, which also thanks to Electrostatic Mind helps to create more Ionic Traces. Super wise, I'm running Stormcaller, but Chaos Reach is just as viable and it should be based on personal preference here. Armor wise, we're going to be focusing on creating some elemental wells which will also provide ability regeneration. My Bond has Melee Wellmaker, whereby our teleport melee kills spawn Arc Elemental Wells, and then double utility kickstart for faster rift regeneration. On my helmet, I'm running Bountiful Wells, so we create 2 elemental wells with each kill, along with Fusion Rifle Ammo Finder and Harmonic Siphon. My gauntlets are Stasis, so I can run double melee kickstart and get my melee ability back even faster. My chest piece has Well of Ions, so when we do pick up an Arc Elemental Well, it increases damage for our next melee. Finally, my boots have Radiant Light so that we can reach 100 strength. So now we're generating an insane amount of Ionic Traces through our weapon, through our grenade, and our melee. We're also generating Arc Elemental Wells which make our melee stronger and improve ability regeneration even further. We're also generating Orbs of Light with Harmonic Siphon from our fusion rifle to get our super back faster. Finally, in terms of stat distribution, I'd recommend 100 strength so you can spam your teleport melee as much as possible. Then prioritize resilience for damage resist based on how difficult the activity you're playing is. If it's anything remotely difficult, then try and aim for 100. Then in the list of priority, discipline is important so we can increase our grenade regeneration, but you'll see I'm running not that high a discipline and I'm still getting my storm grenade back really quickly because of all the ionic traces. Then go for recovery, intellect, and mobility in that order. Mobility you don't particularly need as you'll practically always be amplified and receiving a speed boost. So that's it guys, the lightning spam Arc 3.0 build. I'll be posting the dim link in my Discord, so if you haven't joined my Discord yet, go ahead and join the community. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, like the video and remember to subscribe to the channel for more Arc 3.0 and Season 18 Destiny content. I'm Mr. Ronit and that's it for today. Peace out guys.